I think that Bruce Ohr is a disgrace with his wife, Nellie. For him to be in the Justice Department and to be doing what he did, that is a disgrace. That is disqualifying for Mueller.
President Trump laying into Department of Justice official Bruce Ohr for his role in the Russia probe. Here now to react is Kim Strassel, Wall Street Journal editorial board member, Fox News contributor, whose column today is titled, "What Was Bruce Ohr Doing?" And Kimberly, one thing we know he was doing long before the Russia investigation was officially begun was communicating with Chris Steele, the guy behind the Trump dossier, right?
Yep. So now we find out that they have a long history going back years. And even more interesting, that went beyond the Russia investigation. When we initially see some of this interaction between them in early 2016, very revealing, it is about Christopher Steele, a foreign national, I may add, lobbying this top Department of Justice official on behalf of a Russian oligarch, which seems noteworthy given that this is a guy who goes on to write a dossier suggesting that Trump is colluding with Russia and that this is a big problem.
Now, the reason the timing, I mean, there's so many things that are important here, but one reason the timing is important is because the narrative now in the media is that the Russia investigation didn't start until that famous meeting between George Papadopoulos and the Australian ambassador, which was in the summer of 2016. Well, it turns out, in fact, they were already ginning up this Russia connection. The people, at least at the Department of Justice, probably also Peter Strzok at FBI, maybe also John Brennan at the CIA. They were doing that long before Papadopoulos met with the Australian ambassador.
Yeah, the spring timeline here is absolutely crucial, and it's notable that the FBI, that is the timeline that they have refused to provide any documents for in any request from Congress, because there seems to be something going on here, obviously beyond Papadopoulos. And what we really need, though, is we need for President Trump to declassify all of these discussions that Bruce Ohr had with Christopher Steele in these 302 documents so that we can find out what they actually passed to each other and what got turned over to the FBI and how early some of this actually started.
Well, that's extraordinarily important. You're right. President Trump could do it immediately. But one thing we do know about the communications is that Christopher Steele was at one point acting on behalf of a Russian who wanted to end the sanctions. Now, that's the narrative, according to the mainstream press, about Trump and the Russians, that the Russians were anxious to end the sanctions if Trump was president and therefore will collude with the Trump campaign. Turns out that was going on with the other campaign.
Yeah, that was going on with Christopher Steele. And you really do need to read these emails and this communication to see he is outright saying, hey, can you help me out here? He never comes out and says, I am working on behalf of this, but it's very clear that he seems to have this Russian oligarch's interest in mind, this man named Oleg Deripaska. And he is asking both about whether or not Deripaska can get a visa because he had been barred from getting one, whether or not sanctions could be lifted on some of his interests. You know, what is a former British intelligence officer writing a dossier, as you said, all about those bad Russians, working for one of those Russians? Right,
right. And where do you think the information about Donald Trump in Russia is coming from, if not from one of these cronies of Putin's? Let me ask another question. This is a simpler question, but Bruce Ohr's wife was working for Fusion GPS, which, of course, hired Chris Steele, was paid for by the Democratic Committee in the Hillary campaign. Isn't it illegal for a Department of Justice official to be benefiting his family by pushing a document that his wife is getting paid for to produce?
Well, not just a Department of Justice official. Lawyers will note that any federal government employee is barred from taking part in any government action in which they have a financial interest. Fusion was paying this woman, and by extension, he would be benefiting because, of course, our spouses are considered part of our families when we file those financial disclosure forms in government. And she was getting paid by Fusion GPS. He was therefore financially benefiting from the very opposition research that he was passing on to the FBI,
which is against the law. You're not allowed to benefit financially from information you're using in an investigation. I would assume that breaking the law would be grounds for getting fired. I hope it's grounds for getting fired at the Department of Justice, but apparently not. The guy's still there.
Well, nobody seems to be really looking into this closely. You know, one other thing here, too, that is worth pointing out is that the FBI's confidential human source program, which is what Christopher Steele was a part of before he was fired, and he was fired for breaking the rules. It's not some willy-nilly thing. There's an entire manual that dictates how these sources are cultivated, how you verify their credibility, the rules that they must follow, the rules the agents must follow. He essentially flunked out of that when he went and spoke to the press, and the FBI was required to terminate him. But then the FBI basically ignores all those rules and continues to obtain information from him by using a cutout at the Justice Department. That is very not on behavior, and we need to find out who authorized it, who knew about it, and why they could possibly justify using those techniques and going around their own stated long-time policy and procedures.
Well, what we need more than anything else is for you to stay on the case and for you to come back to After the Bell as often as you possibly can. Kim,
Yes,
great to
definitely.
see you. Thank you very much.